Retail and hospitality is changing, with often complex and fragmented systems combined with large volumes of customer data for businesses to make sense of. It's critical to work with the right partners in order to guarantee success. At Tratec Consulting, we help retail and hospitality businesses transform their technology, removing overly bloated processes and creating unified and efficient systems of working throughout. So don't just take our word for it. See for yourself. Tratec Consulting, the leaders in technology transformation across retail and hospitality.
Good evening, hello, welcome to the All Things Borough podcast, the official podcast for Farnboroough Football Club and sponsored by Tratec Consulting. Tratec takes your business visions and turns them into innovative reality. Good evening, everybody watching us on YouTube. I'm Alan, and I'm joined again by Simon. Simon, good evening.
You sound thrilled, mate, to mention that.
I'm always thrilled to speak to you, Simon. Always, yeah.
Always, yeah. Too much, yeah. Yeah, I'm all right, mate. Thank you for asking. Very good, mate. Yeah, busy, bit long day at work. I wouldn't say busy, but a long day. And I had a bit of a dinner disaster really because I went to M&S.
I did
a bit of label shopping, and I thought, I'll get something. I'll pick something up. It was actually for 4-year-old kids. It said 4 years old plus. It said on it. It was. It sounded really nice. Broccoli and broccoli chicken pasta. I thought that sounds all right. Put one a day, plenty of protein, and yeah, I didn't realise it was a kids' meal, but it's very nice. So
you are the size of a child, so it probably is a bit more
height-wise, yeah. So yeah, it's very nice. So tasty taste buds, it was called. So from M&S, but other food brands are available, of course. But yeah, very nice. Yeah, 10 out of 10.
Well done. I know you wanted to get that in. I didn't know how to stop that, but other than actually mute you, but I didn't want to do that.
I am also wearing my very retro Vasco da Gama away strip. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure everybody's really interested in that.
Another football classic. Here we are from me. Anyway, let's move on to the more interesting.
Is this going to be an ongoing trend for you with the podcast now? Because I know you've got quite a few of them, and they are literally the only shirts that fit you.
Yeah, the ones I have to button up, they're no good. I threw them away years ago. But yeah, I'll get the extra stretchy shirts these days. So happy days. Yeah, comes to us all in the end.
Anyway, as you can see, everyone that's watching us here on YouTube, as you can see, and as you've probably heard from the Farnboroough FC Radio posts on Facebook, we have got a Farnborough legend and former Farnborough captain, CJ Fearn, on the show tonight. Good evening, CJ. How are you doing?
How are you doing, guys? You all right? Thanks for having me.
Yeah, not too bad. I think we wanted to get you on for quite a while, and but it's obviously we've never been able to get in contact, so we're really glad to have you on. And all we're going to do is we're just going to talk about your career, basically, because a lot of it has been at Farnborough, and then the last few years have been a little bit away from it. But look, let's start from the beginning. Obviously, you come through the youth system. At what age did it all start for you?
So, how old was I when I put a first Farnborough top on? So I would say I was year 10. I think I was year 10, year 11. Might have been year 10, and I was playing just with my school lot really. And then trials come up for, it was called like Farnborough. It was Farnborough. It was in Bisley. They used to train. The first team used to train there, and Farnborough A or B, whatever the team was called, put trials on, and a couple of us went, and luckily I got in, and it kind of just went from there. So then from year 11, I was then put in from playing. I played probably about, I say, like 20 games into the season of under 16s. I was put into the under 18 setup with the Farnborough under 18s. So I was playing at the ground on Tuesday nights and stuff, and then kind of just picked up from there. Then I went to a couple of training sessions in pre-season for when I was obviously 16, 17, so I wasn't really looking to get in. And then, I think Spencer just took a liking to how I played, and then I was in more training sessions with the likes of, say, like Laidler and stuff like that. And then, kind of progressed from there into the first team.
Were you aware, even at that sort of young age, of how good you were and how good you were going to be?
I was a completely different player to what I was. That's why Spencer used to chuck me up top because I used to play more 8, getting on, taking players on, shots off, and then I could also do the other side of sitting in front of the defence kind of thing and breaking it up, playing passes, like the big tackle, and then I got bored of running, really, if I'm being honest with you, and then I just thought I'd be a centre half because it's a lot easier.
Yeah, a lot more running backwards on your centre half sometimes, isn't there? Going forwards, but
Exactly
yeah,
that. I
yeah.
thought,
I do. It's funny you
save the
say
legs.
about playing a holding role. 'Cause I actually remember you. I think the first couple of times I went to Farnboroough when the club reformed that I think you were playing holding midfield then as well. And I thought he's got a bit of bang, got a bit of size, got a bit of presence.
Yeah, well, that's when I like to run. Oh, not that I've ever liked to run, that's a lie, but that's when I run a bit more than I do now, to say the least.
Yeah. So when got from sort of you playing youth team and you when did you what league were we in when we first made your debut then?
Conference South.
Conference South. So we were in
Yeah,
there.
with the
Yeah.
big blue, I think it was the big blue badge on the actual side of the arm. Feeler balls. Do you remember the feeler balls, the blue and white feeler balls?
Yeah, vaguely.
Yeah,
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 Yeah.
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 That's when I was first kicking the balls around at Farnborough.
Oh, decent.
Oh, wow.
Happy days.
So,
What year was
Carla
this?
probably remember, but I don't think anyone else will.
yeah, it's probably about it.
What year was this then? When you first broke into the first
Don't
team?
don't actually remember. People say this to me all the time, like, how long have you been playing football? And I'm like, I don't know if it's 11 years, 13 years, I don't know what it is, but I just know I was, what, I've been 16 or 17,
Yeah.
16 or 17, and I was in around it, yeah. And then
Wow. Brilliant.
I think Spencer did the correct thing with me, to be fair. He was chucking me in and then pulling me out because as a 16-year-old, it's a bit much when you're going into
Mm.
to men's football as it is. So you see the youngsters now doing it in, say, like PSG and stuff like that, and you think you don't actually realise how mentally strong they are. Not just
Mm.
physically they've got it, but how mentally strong they are to always want the ball, always get on the ball, always basically enjoy their football because it's a really hard thing to do. Or I found it hard anyway, shall I say. You kind of it's gone away from me now, say like from probably about 22. I used to get nervous before games. Like
Okay.
really nervous where I could be like, fucking I don't actually know if I want to play type thing. But you kind of then realise once you kick the ball once or once you won your first header or whatever it is, you just again football again.
Yeah.
So
Did you always have fun when you played that? Yeah.
not really. Not when it became. It sounds really stupid. It was about age. Age. I say 19 is when I lost. I say the love for the game.
Mm.
Um, it become a job, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So like it kind of took away from how it used to be when I used to enjoy it with my school. Like we used to be down playing football every day because you loved it. And then about 19 is when I first actually woke up on a Saturday and I was like, oh, do I have to go? But
Yeah.
then when you're there and you're playing and stuff and when the fans are going and clapping and stuff, you obviously you love. I think I love that side of it. But the
Yeah.
actual, if someone said to me, I say this all the time. If someone said to me, "You can't play football again," I'd be like, "Okay, that's fine." Which
Yeah.
was, imagine saying that to a 16-year-old me, do you know what I mean? When I was a youngster,
I was gonna say yeah, because even though it was obviously Conference South part-time football, it's still something that a lot of young kids aspire to do. I mean,
Yeah,
to play football for not just their local team, but for a team at that level, or maybe even slightly higher. And then to have you say that there were times where you sort of fell out of it and were thinking on a Saturday morning, "Oh, do I really have to go and play?" or stuff like that. What kind of? It's quite strange to hear that from someone, even someone like you that's still relatively young and still got quite a few years left in the game.
I don't feel young
And
saying that much.
trust me, you're not as old as us, but what can you have you sort of tried to pinpoint why you felt like that at the time?
No, this never really. I've never really got a thumb on top of it. Really, I've never really worked out why or when it happened. It's just
Mm.
it happens a lot. after pre-season, I'll tell you that much.
Mm.
Like when you have time off and you go on holidays
Yeah,
and you sit there and think, I could be doing this all year round.
yeah,
Why am I putting myself through 6 weeks of holidays when I could really realistically be doing it? I could jet off like I did to Kenya literally two
yeah,
weeks ago. Do you know what I mean? Luckily, I've got a manager now. We'll probably go into it, but I've got a manager now that's a lot more laid back, a lot more. How do I say it about digging Spence out here? I don't want to dig him out, but he's probably a better a man manager is what I would say.
right,
So he was like he still sees it as obviously he loves football and stuff like that. But he says, when are you ever going to go to Kenya for a 2 week
yeah,
holiday
yeah,
for a 50th birthday celebration? Go on, have fun. Don't worry about us.
yeah.
Where
And is that because of the difference in the levels? I'm not saying that there's not a huge difference between Uxbridge and where Farnborough level wise, but obviously when you're playing at step two for a club at step two, there is sort of an element of being a bit more professional.
it was even the same when I was at step four with
Was it
Farnborough. Yeah, it was. You missed a training session. You didn't start the next game,
right?
being ill or not.
Yeah,
It was one of those at Farnborough where it's obviously I'm a bit older now, a bit more experienced. I can kind of got a say in it where I could say like, look, I'm tight, I'm struggling,
mm,
and the manager goes where I'm at now. He goes, as long as you're fit for Saturday, it's all
yeah,
right. One of those
yeah,
ones where it was obviously a lot different with Farnborough. Yeah, I almost felt. It sounds weird. I almost felt guilty being ill and stuff like that. At Farnborough, where here now I just drop the gaffer a message or I'll give him a phone call and say, listen, like, I'm in bed, I'm ill. And he was like, don't worry about it, as long as you get yourself better for Saturday, type thing.
You
yeah,
obviously we talked about a bit about Uxbridge now. We'll try and get onto that again. I just wanted to home in a bit on what you said about previously about not enjoying not losing the love for the game and not enjoying your football. Do you think that's come around from being pitched in too young too quickly, or do you think it's something to do with maybe the level or the sort of the more as the game's getting on more and you're getting older, it's kind of becoming more sort of a professional outfit, and you would rather play for fun? Is it
No,
any one of those?
I think I think when I was younger, obviously everyone thinks they're going to make it, don't they? They they
yeah,
they always think it's like almost like a stepping stone type thing. Um, which I had a couple of sniffs at. Like apparently there was a couple of teams that come in for me that I wasn't. It's going to sound bad. I wasn't told about. Um, I was told by assistant managers afterwards. Like they gave me a phone call and said like, "What are you doing? Why are you not trying it?" And I'm like, "Trying what?" And he's like, I've had a phone call saying that you've got a chance to go play higher and stuff like this," which obviously like I said, I didn't know about. And that was probably about 19, 20 when I found it out. And then I just kind of thought, it's obviously more business orientated now. It's not, you're not playing for the love of the game anymore type thing.
mm,
You're if it's one of those, you turn it round. If I got injured at 19 and I couldn't come back, they're just going to find someone else to replace you with anyway. So I
yeah,
Yeah,
thought,
you're spot on, CJ, there, because it's football has become over the years, especially in the last sort of 10 years. Football's definitely become more of a business than a people business, isn't it? It's just a business. Whereas before, you get you'd have managers look after you. You'd have a few beers after the game. It was just normal, wasn't it? But now you obviously got the stuff down at Bracknell happening with Matt Saunders who left, and he didn't want the players drinking, and they're playing at the same league you're in, aren't they? That sort of thing. It's becoming very very professional, very sort of kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Professional and uh, full on is what I'm after.
so
Full on.
we
That's the word
say
I'm looking
that
for.
it's quite funny that you say like he was trying to stop them from drinking. I don't even think it's that side so much, but when you turn it round, Premier League players go out drinking with their
yeah,
pals.
Yeah,
yeah,
So why on earth can't someone from step three or step two or whatever it is
mm,
go out drinking with their pals? As
yeah,
long as they're being reasonable, don't get me wrong. Like don't get battered on a Friday night. That's probably the number one rule. And then turn up on
yeah,
Saturday and then moan while you're on the bench or if you throw a stinker. Do you know what I mean? It's one of
yeah,
those where, or if you're going to do it, which don't get me wrong, I've done it a fair few times where I've been out drinking on a Friday night because it's a mate's birthday or something. You kind of make sure that you play well, so no one knows that you've been out drinking on a Friday night. So
yeah. Or you could just have a testimonial and just drink while you're playing.
or that kind of shows the ability of the group that we used to have, how much we could drink and still spray the balls around, doesn't it? So
yeah,
yeah. Do you know, it is a testament to your own ability. I think it should have. It was a real stamp on everyone's ability. They're completely wasted and still managing to probably score me and Alan having our entire careers. You know what I mean? So keep going.
But look, you spent the best part of your adult life at Farnborough. So there obviously must have been quite a few enjoyable seasons in that time. There've been promotions and obviously relegations and stuff like that. But how has that whole period been? Because it's been what was it? Was it actually 10 years or was it 11 years?
I say it was more 11. Obviously, like last season, it was the 11th. You could say I played 3 games at the start and left. There's always ups and downs in football, in there, especially over 10, 11 years, whatever you want to call it. There's more fond memories than it is obviously negative. There is negative ones in there, but that's part and parcel of not just football. It's life, isn't it? Like you can't. No one's ever very, especially in sport, going to have 10 excellent years. Otherwise, if we did, we'd be in the Premier League.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Exactly,
so we would have been winning the league every year, and we'd have been going up every year. There was obviously times where we're getting pumps 7s against us. That's never enjoyable. Do you know what I mean? On a Saturday night when you've trained all week and then you go up against a team and they beat you like 7-2, and you think, what am I doing? But there's also times where one of them was when Farnborough stepped free, the season we got promoted, and we're at Plymouth Parkway away, and the pitch was honestly probably one of the worst. You could go out on a cow field and it'd be better.
Yeah.
And we drew 2-2. It was at Plymouth Parkway. Who did we play? Truro were I think they were ground sharing at the time. We went 2-0 down. I think it was one of JT's first games actually in goal. And you probably thought, what the fuck have I signed up for? Excuse my language, but 2-0 down, and then we 2-2, and they're the games that sit in your mind because you travel 3.5 hours.
Yeah.
And they're the ones that I see as like a highlight. Didn't even win. Do you know what I mean? But you go, that's a game that sticks in my brain. I'm going, that's the games that I go, I love football.
Yeah.
Because the togetherness and everyone's around, and afterwards the beers were flowing and you have a good time. But then there's obviously times, like I said, throughout where I've been smashed 7s, and luckily I've got a good ratio in playoffs. I can imagine losing a playoff final would be horrendous. Luckily I've never felt that, but yeah, there's a lot more ups than there are downs, is what I would say.
How did we go back to Uxbridge now? We mentioned it previously. Obviously, you said at the start of last season you went out, you played a few games at the start of the season, then you kind of got loaned out to Partly, played there, probably with some mates and things as well, and then you ended up at Uxbridge, sort of tailed into that season, and also now this season as well. How did those moves come around? Was it something you asked for? Or was it,
no. So the season before I went and then come back. I come back in October when we finished 1 point off of playoffs. We beat Weymouth on the last day 2-1. We missed out by 1 point.
Yeah.
I went to Hartley. It was what did I do? I think I went on a first family holiday. I think it was one of my mum, might be my mum's 60th or my dad's. It was a celebration or whatever it was, and it popped up in August, and I said, "Listen, I'm going." But I said it before I signed.
Yeah.
So before I signed back on, we had St Albans away, the last game of the season before, and I said, if I'm going to sign, I'm not going to be here, or I'm not going to be available for a game or two at the start of the season. But I'll still be here for pre-season. I'll still be running. I'll still be fit. And then when I come back, it was weird. It was like clicky with me and Spence. It wasn't smooth sailing. And then he said, I want you to go get a couple of games out on loan. So then obviously when I put a tweet out, as you do, and I said, anyone need a player? And then I ended up...
I remember that tweet. I remember that tweet. Yeah, it blew up a little bit, didn't it?
Yeah, I had a few clubs ring me, and then I had Millers, who funny enough, is now at Farnboroough, which I still rinse
Yeah.
him about. And yeah, I went and played basically over there for. It only ended up 7 games, but it felt like a lifetime because it was a proper family club,
Yeah.
really well run. It was quite funny because the season before, when we were in step 3, we beat them 1-0 at their place, and I was giving it the beans to their fans, saying thanks I never have to play on this pitch again type thing, and then ended up that being my home ground for 7 games. But yeah, and then I got a phone call from Spence, and they're light on defenders. Can I come back from it? Because I kind of extended it at Hartley. I didn't really want to come back, from being honest, with everyone, which sounds a bit horrendous.
Mm.
It's like I found a club that I really, really liked at the time. Obviously, I love Farnborough, and I've been there for, what was it, 9 years at the time. But I didn't really want to come back until I had a couple of conversations. One of them was with Ricky. That was a long conversation. One of them was with Millers. Funny enough, Millers said, like, look, you got to go. We don't want to kind of burn bridges. Want to keep it smooth sailing. So then I went back. First game back was Maidstone. Drew 1-1. Played all right. And then I didn't really come out of the team from then. And then pre-season occurred this time round. And when you get the feeling that you're not in the right place, if that makes sense. It sounds really weird because I don't know if you've ever had it in a job or something like that, where you kind of sat there and you're like, this don't feel like how it used to feel.
Yeah.
Even with the pals and even with JT and stuff, even with us playing cricket in the change room and stuff, it didn't feel right. So he said to me, why don't you go get a couple of games, get fit, and then come back? And I said, listen, if I'm going to go out, I don't think I'm going to return.
Yeah.
And that's how the Uxbridge thing, I put the same tweet out, literally probably about the same time as I did the year before. And had about 8 or 9 phone calls from different teams, some in the same league. And then, do you know what? It was the conversation I had with the gaffer at Uxbridge, Danny Edwards. I was walking the dog, walking around Queen Lizzie with the missus, and I took a phone call. I thought it was going to be a quick, sharp one, him kind of tell me the plan and what he wants me to do and guide and how he wants me to guide the team. And it was a completely opposite conversation. It was about who I am as a person, what my morals are, what my family are like. Different to what I've ever experienced from a manager that realistically wants me to come and play for his football team, to play football. But he wanted to find out who I was as a person to see if I fit his football club as well. Went there, and then, well, the rest is history. Went and won the playoffs within, 8 months later or 7 months later.
Yeah. Did he? Do you know if that was just you he did that with, or is that his ethos with most of the players he signed?
That's what he's like. That's what he's like as a gaffer, and that's why I think I get on with him really well, because he also he takes your word, if that makes sense. If he'll come up to you and actually ask. I've had many conversations with Spencer, and he will say, I think we should be 3-5-2. And you could go, I don't know, I think 4-3-3 against these when we played them last time, 4-3-3. I thought we'd done really well. And you go, yeah. And then you'll come up to a Saturday and it's 3-5-2. And you go, what was the point of having that whole conversation?
Yeah.
Where Danny will actually have a conversation with you, and you'll go through, I'll say, for example, this is why I think we should be 3-5-2 this week. And he'll go, all right. And then he'll work it out, and you can actually have an honest conversation. And sometimes he'll switch and it'll work, and he'll look at you and go, yeah, it's done. Like, you players have done what you asked us to do, because it's a team thing. And then sometimes you'll turn around and go, well, that was crap, wasn't it? And you'll go, yeah, you're 100% right. But he's one of those managers that I'm really glad that I've been able to play under, Danny. He's a proper players manager, if that makes sense. Like, he'll put an arm when you need it, but he'll also give you a hard rollicking when he needs to.
Yeah, it's quite tough, isn't it, for a manager? Do you think? I think it is. I'm just my own personal opinion. It's hard, isn't it, to get the balance right sometimes, isn't it? Some managers go about it a completely different way. So you're probably looking at, from your experience, you're looking at someone like Danny at Uxbridge, who's a totally different person to the way Spencer manages, and obviously off the pitch is probably a lot. There's probably similarities between the two of them off the pitch, but when it's regarding football, there's probably a completely different way of doing things, isn't
A
there?
massive difference. Spence off the pitch, I could have he doesn't drink. I could have a Diet Coke with Spence off the pitch every day of the week. we get on, but in the changing room, there was a lot of between me and him. There was a lot of head clashing and bumping heads, and there was some words that we shouldn't probably say to each other as a football player and a manager. But well, it has to happen, didn't it? After 10 years of being with each other, you kind of do argue, and you
You
basically
probably you're probably not the only one who said some harsh things to him recently. I won't say any names, but yeah, there's been a few. So you aren't the only one, but I think that's natural in a club, isn't it? Like you say, after 10 years of being around each other, you kind of know each other inside out, don't you? Really, and
you can kind of get away with it on my side type thing.
yeah, exactly. I've got a quick question about your Farnborough days. Going back to that, we're trying to keep it fun. We're trying to drag you back in. See,
No.
we had a question from one of the lads. I won't give his name out because he'll only gloat about it. It says the header you scored against the Met Police in the last minute, is that the most important goal you've ever scored, or if it isn't, which one was?
No, yeah,
Remember
it is.
Yeah.
But do you know what I say to a lot of people? And it went really under the radar. About 2 minutes before I scored that header, I blocked one off the line.
Yeah.
So
That's football for you in a nutshell, isn't it? That's football for you in a nutshell. You save a goal. You save a goal, you don't get any headlines. You score one, you get all the headlines in the world, don't you?
So I stopped one to stop it going 2-0, which really would have been game over. I actually broke my ankle. I say broke it. I got hairline fractures in my ankle from that blocking the ball off the line. John Anunga actually done me as I blocked it. He actually nailed me, and I got hairline fractures through basically the foot into the ankle. Then obviously adrenaline takes over, run up, luckily score the header, have to come off. And then Spencer's looking at me to play the playoff final going, what do we need to do? And I'm like, well, just give me loads of cocodamol and we'll get on with it, won't we? So, I would say, it's definitely the best goal I've ever scored, yeah.
Yeah, I vaguely remember that game. I know I was there. I was at that game, and I know it was one of them.
I was behind the goal. Yeah,
it's one of those sort of tight, horrible games, really, wasn't it? And not much between both teams. It was really tough. Not too many chances, and he popped up with a proper captain's goal there, didn't you?
Well, they were really, really good that year. Met Police. They're not the Met Polices that we're dealing with. What you can deal with now that are struggling to step forward. They were a solid side. That. Them, who was it? Taunton that won the league. Hayes and Yedding were flying. It was a proper 4-way battle at the top. Where if you took your chances in, say March, you probably win the league. Like Taunton did. We could have probably won the league. We had a bit of a blip. Hayes had their go. Had a bit of a blip. Met Police were always kind of scaring us from underneath. But it was one of those that we said after the season that if we didn't go up then, I think that was our one chance. You kind of look around and go, thank God we kind of did go up then.
Yeah, it's very similar that to if you think back to, if you think forward another year, we played the Hayes and Yedding game at their place in the playoff final on the Maybank holiday, and that was similar to them. They went the opposite way to Borough, and we went up.
That's what I mean, and they've gone.
Yeah, look at them now. They've stepped forward now, haven't they? And they've got they really sort of. They were big favourites for that match. I remember they had people like Franny up top, didn't they? And
Moses Emmanuel, they had Omar Rowe, Jordan Norville-Williams.
Yeah. Like if you look back now, their team was
we took half their squad after we got promoted.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that is true. Yeah, but I mean, it can go that way, can't it? That could have happened to us. It could have been. We could have not. They could have beat us like everybody probably predicted they would, and we'd have ended up down there, and maybe we'd have gone the same way they have. You know, I mean, just don't know, dear. That's funny.
When you look at Luton, for example, Premier League, 2 years ago?
Great example, yeah.
And now look at them in, what is it, League One?
Yeah.
Struggling. So it's when you throw a lot of money at stuff and it don't work out, it can easily fall.
Yeah. It's a lesson to everybody. That we talk on this podcast about a lot of stuff that goes on off the pitch, and money and finances and big investments and things like that are things that we talk about a lot. And it's not a recipe for success sometimes. I mean, most of the time, you think there's a really good point Mark White made when we spoke to him a few weeks ago. He said that in the league, there's sort of every year you get one success story, but there's 12 or 13 failures. You know what I mean? So that's the kind of the balance, isn't it?
100%.
Yeah. Talking of that, there's a lot of money being thrown around in the league. Uxbridge are in at the minute in the Southern. Southern Premier, a lot of money. Bracknell's probably a good example of that. That's probably an example of it not working out, and yet you've got probably Walton and Hersham at the top. It probably has worked, and Gloucester as well. They've invested quite well, haven't they? So
there's a lot of money in not just step 3, step 4s as well now. We'll always bring up the likes of Farnham and stuff, but they're obviously doing well with it. They're obviously smashing out of the park to come up from step 4. Will win step 4 very comfortably, and now they're sitting in the playoffs with, I think it's like 3 games in hand to go. I think they can go second or something like that. There's always, this is what I say, there's always money everywhere, but it's getting the right lads in that work well, because you can go get in 6 people that are on 150 quid a week, but they work well with each other, and it works. And then you bring in one bad egg on 600 quid, and it just ruins the whole thing. There's a very fine line in finances and who you bring into a football club. Where, to be fair to Spence, he's got it quite right with the players that have been on big money. It will work out for him this year.
Yeah,
I know. There's a fair few of them on big money. There's a reason they're on big money, because other teams would have come in for him, and obviously the deal would have been better with Farnborough. But it'll work. Like people saying, like they're in a relegation battle. Listen, you've still got, what was it, 25 or 28 games to go.
Yeah, no,
you
exactly,
win. You win 5 games. All these people that are tweeting like, at the start, Spencer out, or the boys are crap, the boys are rubbish. He's lost it. He's done. He's not his usual self. All of this, it'll all go quiet if you finish 10th. Do you know what I mean? And that's the one, the other side of it as well. Like, I don't think fans really realise when there's 1,100 of you going, that's going into the players' budget obviously as well. So it's going in, and they're wondering why, when it drops to 600 or 700, why are players leaving? Why have they gone out on loan? Well, because now we can't afford them. Like, that's part and parcel of the business side of it.
Yeah.
So then they're questioning why they're gone, and that's right.
Yeah, this is what we've tried to, again, on this podcast, like Simon said, the behind the scenes sort of stuff. This is what we've tried to say for the last couple of years, because I remember in previous years when we were like step 3, step 4, when attendance has dropped, and usually around this time of year, when attendance has dropped, that's when the money starts dropping, and that's when, like you say, players start moving out because we can't afford to keep them. But what we really need, these are the times when we're down at the bottom of the league. These are the times where we need the fans to turn up.
And then, honestly, especially on a Tuesday night, is what we used to remember. Even if we drew 0-0, the place was rocking.
Yeah,
and that's what it gives you, an extra 5 yards. And you look at the other team, and they're going, Jesus Christ, why are they doing that in the 85th minute?
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it puts a bit of pressure on. When it's dead silent, the other team go, well, it feels like we're playing at home. Like, we're gonna come on to them instead. It's not gonna be the other way around.
Yeah. Joe, you said about a Tuesday night, a really cold Tuesday night. I remember it because I cycled stupidly to the ground, and I had my cycling shorts on. I was absolutely freezing by about 70 minutes in. It was a Concord Rangers game. Remember that one? And we were 1 down, and the goalkeeper was taking like 20 minutes to take a goal kick, and Ricky popped up in like the last minute and scored one. We won 2-1. Do you remember that game? I remember it very well, only because I was so cold.
I think I might have been up top.
Yeah, you might have done. Yeah,
you might have been. Yeah,
we were kind of in and around the players, and we had games in hand because we got those postponed at home because our pitch was terrible, and we had to play like Tuesday, Saturday for about 6 weeks running, and we eventually it caught up with us. We lost our Taunton match, and that was that at home, and but I remember that. The place was rocking then as well. It was really good. We had people like Tommy Woodard come in on loan, didn't he? He got a hat trick in one of those games as well, didn't he?
I remember it now.
Yeah,
I was.
Yeah,
I was.
Yeah. I remember you come on. I think you came on, didn't you? And you come up top. Yeah, I think so. And it was, it was like I say, the place was rocking. It was really good, and there was a massive atmosphere, especially when we got the equaliser as well. And we didn't score until the 80th minute, I think.
That's fine.
We were thinking, a draw's all right. We'll take that. And then obviously Ricky popped up, took it round 2 players, and banged it in the corner. So yeah, and it was rocking. It does help though. That's what we say to fans a lot. Yeah, you might be disillusioned, or you might not like some of the stuff that goes on at our club, and like most clubs, you're probably not 100% happy with everything that happens, but you just got to get behind the team.
And the other thing as well, it's not like the players are doing it on purpose. This is like one of my main pet peeves with fans, because we can all stand there on the sideline and say he should do that better, he should do this, but there's without being rude to fans, because obviously they're the reason you play football, and that's what you love about it. There's a reason you're in the stand and not on the football field,
Yeah,
because it's not that easy.
yeah, yeah,
Like and
yeah.
and
And sometimes I think sometimes they forget that you guys actually work for a living as well.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean? So if it's a cold Tuesday night, you've been like tonight, you've been at work till 7 o'clock this
literally.
evening, and then you've got to go and play a game. Obviously, you wouldn't finish at work at 7 on a Tuesday night. You'd be finishing try and finish a bit earlier so you can get
Like
to
you
the
finish
ground
at
in
5 and
time.
get
But
there as quick as you
yeah,
can. Yeah.
but still, you've done a full day's work, and then you're expected to turn up and play a full 90 minutes up here at this level.
The
For the fans
funniest
to be
one,
happy.
when you say that, the funniest person, because he's one of our good pals, Ricky. So
Yeah,
Ricky come from full-time football.
yeah,
Ricky was fit as a fiddle.
mm,
Ricky was running round. Ricky didn't have a full-time job.
yeah,
So what Ricky done was just play football for Farm Football Club. So he was wondering, why are these lot so crap? Why are these lot so tired? Why are these lot not getting up for a football game? And then Ricky went and worked on a building site.
yeah.
And after I think it was 1 month of working on the building site, he come in on a Tuesday or a Thursday, we were training. And I went, "You look tired, mate." He was like, "How the swear
Yeah.
word do you lot do it?" And we were like, "Welcome to the real world."
Yeah.
And
Was
that's
it a
when
bit
we
of
said,
was it a bit of a culture shock to him then?
he had no
To
idea.
Ricky?
He actually he come up to us afterwards, after the season, and he was like, "Mate," he's like, "I don't know how some of you do it." He's like, "I don't know, honestly." He's like, "Obviously, my job's a bit hard for recovery. Don't get me wrong. Like I'm on my hands and knees probably
Yeah,
for
yeah.
6 hours of the day. Like you're down
Mm.
cutting carpet in or doing floors. So your recovery's pretty bad. So I'm literally like a tin man sometimes on a Wednesday. But he was like a not a builder. He was doing like electrics, but like with
Yeah.
cable that's very very heavy. And yeah, and he said to us by the end of it, he was like, "I actually want to apologise." He's like, "I don't know if some of you like, actually do turn up and play the way you were doing." So
Yeah.
yeah.
That's brilliant.
Exactly, it is an eye opener, isn't it? Because it's like you say, fans expect you, even though you've been at work with it, you might have had a real shit day at work as well. You know, and you've got to
Yeah.
come and play football. That's probably the last thing you want to do. You just want to get down the pub and have a few beers, don't you? Relax, but got to go and play a game. And you're expected to play like 8 or 9 out of 10, aren't you? You know, it's not there's no coming turning up and just coasting, playing 5 or 6. You know, when fans will know, won't they? You know what I mean? And but like I say, we talk about this a lot. It's like all the stuff that goes on off the pitch. Like you know what I mean? You don't know the blokes. You know, the player's bloody granddad might have died, you know, the day before, and he's like literally in bits. You know what I mean? But he's got to
100%.
play because he's in the team, and there's all these injuries. So you just don't know, do you? And then all the fans say, "Oh, he's playing shit. He wants out. He's rumor going around. He's going to go to this club, blah blah blah." And it's nothing to do with that. It's because he's had a really bad personal thing. He's no idea.
It could even be an argument with the
Yeah.
missus. Do you know what
Yeah,
I mean?
Yeah.
Like
yeah,
you don't know how that argument's been left. You
Yeah.
don't know, like that argument could have been going on until kickoff.
Yeah.
yeah,
Like
Yeah. Yeah.
your brain's not always 100% on football because you're a human.
Yeah.
And feelings work that way. Like you can't
Yeah.
control them. That's the reason they're feelings
yeah,
and emotions. So that's a lot of things. And like you could say the same with when goals are scored. Everyone's annoyed. Everyone's pissed off. We're not going to sit there and clap and celebrate with the other team, are we? Like we're still going to
No.
be the same. We're still annoyed. We're still as annoyed to lose games as the fans are.
Mm.
It's not like we go out and we sit back into the change room afterwards and go, "Oh, that was funny," and let's all have a laugh. We just lost 3-0.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're still pissed off, and it still ruins our weekend just as much as it ruins the fans.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Um,
we see the players because obviously we go up we're in the platinum lounge before and after the game. So after, especially after game, especially after a loss, you lot would come up to the lounge and after you've had your food and have a couple of drinks, and we can see the difference in your mood between whether you won a game or whether you lost a game, and so we can see what some of the fans can't see. Obviously, we can see how it affects you guys, and when you come in and it's a big loss, or even if it's a small loss, you come in and you're like, oh God, sorry, and some of them like even come up and we talk to them and they go, oh, I'm really sorry about that today. And
yeah.
we're like, "Look, mate,
Do you
don't
know
worry
what?
about
You
it."
beat me to it there. I was going to say that. I remember Ricky coming in one day after a game. I think it was
Yeah,
0-0. It was 0-0 home game, and Ricky come in and said, "Sorry about that, lads. It was fucking shit."
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
and it's like, yeah,
But you
all right,
don't.
fair
But
enough.
that's the point. You don't have to apologise to us. Do you know what I mean? We're probably one of the few people that do actually understand what goes in.
But do you know what? I've had Reggie
You
done
don't
it as
have
well.
to.
Reggie Young come in a couple of times where he's
Reggie's done it a few times. Even a couple of the players this season
You know.
have done it a few times. And we're like, look, mate, don't worry about it. Do you know what I mean? You live
You're human.
you've got your own private life, full time work.
We almost have that bit of guilt. It sounds really, really stupid,
of course you
really,
do,
doesn't it? But it's
Yeah.
a bit of guilt
Yeah.
that we feel like we've let not just ourselves down and the team down. You feel like you have let down the 700, 800 people that have come.
Yeah.
You think, because don't get me wrong, they've spent, what is it now, £12, £14, £16 to get in?
14 quid for
14
it,
quid, which is a lot of money. Like people
Yeah.
say it's only 14 quid, but it's not just 14 quid. It's also the time to get there. It's the food and drink that you get while you're there. Like an average match day would be, well, if you drink like me and the boys, it'd be 50 quid. But
that's a lot of Diet Coke, CJ.
Is that before an Uxbridge game? Yeah.
Yeah, well, there you go. But no, do you know what I mean? Like, don't get me wrong, Uxbridge is a lot different. Price wise, they've actually, I don't know if you've seen it on Twitter or anything. They've kept it as low as it can go for step 3. I think it's like £8 entry.
I think I saw something about it. Yeah,
didn't they do
really good.
50 quid season tickets as well?
They did that as well.
Yeah, really good. Great
really
incentive
good,
that one. Obviously, got Bracknell sort of usurped them by giving away free ones as long as they gave a donation to a food bank, which is another good idea. But
but I think you have to ask yourself though. Again, Kane, we probably should have asked Kane when we had him on, but how many of those free season ticket holders actually do turn up?
Yeah, there you go.
True. Very true. I don't know if
especially now they're not doing very well at the minute. But
that's the other side, I'd say, because it's actually a very smart tactic. Because realistically, what person, even if you give them a free season ticket, what person is going to go there and spend no money?
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah.
Because they're going to go get a burger. Because they're going to go, right, we didn't spend the 14 quid to get in, so they're going to go buy a burger. They're going to go buy a soft drink. That's still tenner.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
and if it doubles the people coming in, then there you go. You're making more money.
Yeah.
It's smart, I think. Talking about Uxbridge, how good's Marvin Sordell?
Well, I didn't play with him.
He's not.
That was the problem. No, I was
disappointing.
I was away, and then he's tweaked his hamstring. I played against him last year, and to be fair, I think he scored 2 against us or 3 against us. He ripped us a new one. To be fair, last year, hell of a player.
Yeah,
even
ex-Premier League Watford and all that. Yeah,
even at his age now, he still chops turns and runs really fast. So
there was also on players you definitely are playing with. How's Frank Cater's obviously on loan now? How's he getting on?
He's a good player.
He's good, isn't he? Scoring goals as well, isn't he? Lots of goals.
He's a good boy as well. That's the main thing. He's a good boy. So yeah, he's one that we well, I can't really probably have that conversation with us guys, but it's one that we probably will be keeping for the season. So
yeah.
But that's an exclusive then.
Yeah, I mean there's some talk around that he's probably some people might say he's a better option than people like maybe Ryan Hook or Tommy Lee Higgs and people like that, possibly. But I suppose different. It could be different type of players, I suppose. But the ball number 10, all 3 number 10. So.
It's until those score.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden that conversation is not about, and that's where
exactly.
That's where me and football. That's the bit where I don't like it, because, like I said, you go onto Twitter after a game and there's 7, 8, 9 people underneath either laughing or messaging saying he's out on loan, why we're not bringing him back. But if that player had scored, that conversation never happens. And that's the side. Yeah. That's the side. Prime example of this.
I say a prime example of that was it last season when Jonathan Page came back, and then he wasn't really getting in the side, and then he left, and then everybody was kicking off. Was it him?
He got released, didn't he? They released him.
Did he go to Hampton?
Yeah, they released him.
Yeah, and then someone else came in, and all of a sudden, because everybody liked the player that had come in, everybody they completely forgotten about Page.
Yeah, I can't remember who that was.
I can't remember who that was. No, yeah.
They're not there now anyway. But yeah,
no,
that's part and parcel of football, though, isn't it?
Yeah,
nowadays,
exactly.
I'm saying my missus is a proper stickler for looking at stuff on social media and stuff, and she was like, "Carl didn't have you in the team of the season, like his team of best ever Farnborough. I was like, so? I said I haven't played for him for a season. I said he's probably forgot about me. Because
Yeah.
it happens. It happens
Short,
that quickly.
short
Do you know what
memories
I
in
mean?
football. Short memories in football.
Yeah.
Because it
Yeah.
is. You think, oh, we got the next bit of gold in front of me, and you follow it that
Yeah.
way. Because when you actually turn it around, like when we'll go on to obviously like hopefully my team that I choose, and you lot will be like, oh my god, who is that? That's how you do
Yeah.
it. But
Yeah.
it's the way you watch a game and you'll remember that one game of that person could have done something in that moment, and you think, wow, he's a hell of a player.
Yeah.
And you don't actually watch him be bad for the next 4 games or something like that. Do you know what I mean? It's
Yeah. No, exactly.
you
Yeah.
remember him for the good game.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. We will touch on that. We'll get you to do your best Farnborough 11 at the end. But you spent like obviously 10 years at the club, and you've played with a lot of good players. But
and
was
horrendous
that
players.
like yeah? But was that promoted team and was that one of the best teams that you played for in terms of like not just ability and how well you lot played together, but obviously the personal concept, the personal stuff between you guys.
So I've had two promotions at Farnborough,
Yeah.
and funny enough, like for my team, obviously we'll go into that later on, but my team is so mixed.
Mm.
It's unbelievable. Like I could make a team of Keith Emerson's, Nick
Mm.
Cardini's, Josh Huggins, Curtis
Mm.
Asano's, Jack Barton's,
Yeah.
and I'd be happy with that being my 11. And
Yeah.
then I could go into the team that we could promote from step 3 to step 2, and you could go through the Mark Nisbets, you could go through the Jack Balls, you could go through the whole team. Like
Mm.
Frankie Sutherland, that people completely forget about what a footballer he
Yeah.
was.
Yeah.
Because Sam Deering had a good season, so you kind of forget what the dogged work he done behind him, and like it's so easy to forget him. So when we say about like is that the best being promoted and stuff like that, it's a mix for me.
Mm.
Yeah.
It's
Have you talking about going back to you? Carl's asked a couple of questions. One of them, which is, he wants me to ask you about your pre-match snacks.
my pre-match snacks.
Yeah.
Uh,
And while you're on that subject, have you got any pre-match superstitions or anything like that, or
see, it's the one funny thing with me is if I wake up late, I don't even eat, I don't even drink. I'll have a coffee before a game.
Yeah.
So if I wake up late, yeah, especially at Farnborough, I was horrendous for it because it's 5 minutes around the corner.
Yeah.
So if meet time was 12:45, and I do sleep in. If I wake up and it's 12:10 and I go, ooh, I'm straight in the shower. I brush my teeth. I get in the car and I go. That's what it was
Yeah.
like. Even now, where I've got to travel half an hour, I'm the same. If I wake up late, it's prioritise getting in the shower and brush my teeth than I do with eating or drinking, which is horrendous when you look at it that way. At one point, it was omelettes. For some reason, I don't know why, I liked an omelette. At Farnborough, before every home game, I don't know if you guys know, it's 12:45 meet because you've got a full fry up.
Oh, well, okay.
So you got a full fry up waiting for you. You can obviously go pick and choose it. You've got teas, coffees waiting. You've got oats. You've got porridge. You've got whatever you want really before.
Mm.
But some people would still turn up with chicken and rice, like Robbo, for example. He'd have his chicken and rice because that's his superstition. That's his routine.
Yeah.
So no, I've got none really. I'd say. What did I used to do? Yeah, probably just an omelette. It was probably an omelette and a coffee, and that was about it.
you get in a fry up before going, I might start turning up at 12:45 because that sounds all right to me.
You say that, and then you try and run, and then you realise why you can't run because you just had a full fry up.
Yeah, I always used to blame the fried bread for that. That was always it's the fried bread. I should have had one too many fried breads. I used to say, just irrespective of the 3 sausages, 3 bacon, and 2 eggs I was eating. You know what
and everything else on top of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But no superstitions for me.
Fair enough. What's So we brushed upon it earlier about differences between your manager now and Spencer, the current Farmer manager. Who's obviously been in place pretty much most of your football playing days. Obviously, there's a lot in there you've got to thank him for, probably for giving you your chance, all that sort of stuff. But what obviously there was obviously there's obviously, I can tell there's been a bit of a breakdown with you two over the last sort of maybe 2 years, maybe 18 months, possibly. What brought that around? And is it true that you pissed him off one too many times and he took the captaincy off you?
Oh no, that was just a thing that we'd always do because we'd argue. That started from day dot. Really, I'm a, I'm a I'm not even a hothead, but I am a hothead when I hear the wrong thing, if that makes sense. Like I'm very reactive, especially when it's waffle. Like
Yeah.
when it's complete bollocks, and everyone looks around and you know it's complete bollocks. I can't hold my tongue.
Yeah.
I'm the first to say no, you're miles off of it. And
Yeah.
with someone like that, you can't do that with Spence, because it's well, you see it's his way or no way, really. But like I said, then after me and him going at it, for example, effing a blind at each other, I mean, me telling him he's an idiot, and him saying the same thing, with like nothing had happened, water under the bridge.
Yeah.
So it
Yeah.
was. There's not even so much a breakdown. Like the last game I come to, there was still a handshake. There was still, how you doing?
Yeah. Yeah.
Doing well. Like I
There's
said,
still a lot
well,
of there's still a lot of respect there, isn't there?
and then it's not that I don't like the geezer. I've got
Mm.
nothing against him. I just have 10 years of memories of sometimes wanting to headbutt him, and I'm sure he's got the same thing with me. So
Yeah,
I think all managers and especially captains, they will tend to sort of not come to blows, but have those sort of heated discussions because
I
you
don't
want
think,
to you
like
want
you
to
said, I
play a
don't
certain
think you'd
way,
be.
or you don't
Yeah,
agree with things.
you
Yeah,
wouldn't be
it's
doing your
always
job
about
as a captain. You wouldn't be doing your
yeah,
job as a captain if
yeah,
you didn't challenge
mm,
the management. But that's
yeah,
where, could you even deem me as Farnborough's captain? Because it was like it would be given one day, I'd still be playing the game, and it'd be given to someone else, and
yeah,
I wouldn't know if it was to try and get reaction out of me or if it was he didn't want me being captain in general,
mm,
or but it was
yeah,
one of those where you never really knew. You never really know. It's what the one thing you can say with Spence Day. You never really know what's going to happen.
yeah, yeah,
keep you
yeah,
toes.
You
Yeah,
can have
so, and Alan made a good point there. Really, you do. I mean, over the years, you got probably got really good examples like Roy Keane and Ferguson. You know what I mean? They'd always be at each other's throats. You know what I mean? And eventually, it just snaps, doesn't it? And off one goes and one stays. You know what I mean? It's the way it is. So that is how it is. But yeah, well, I'm sort of we should go back to your shoulder. I know you're injured at the moment, and you've obviously had a nice break away, but you're still injured. Bearing in mind your shoulder and that, have you had a chat with Jordan about his shoulder, and have you given any advice?
so it was actually quite funny you say that because I with my shoulder when I done it, I carried on. So I carried on for the rest of the game. Obviously, when it come out as I was rolling around, I gave it some, and it went back in. I went and got an X-ray on the Monday,
mm,
and he said it's back in. There's no clean breaks or anything like that, so you're fine. So in my mind, that's all right. I can go still play football and stuff like that. So he rang me on. What did he do? He messaged me on Saturday. Actually, he goes, "Guess what I've done?" And I was like, "What?" And then I got a video call, and I was in the middle of a party, so I took myself away into a quiet corner and I answered, and he's in a sling. I said, "What have you done?" And he was like, "I dislocated it." I said, "Did you carry on?" First thing he said, "Did you carry on?" He's like, "No." He's like, "It was out for 3 hours." I was like, "You wet wipe." Straight on to him. I said, "You win." So yeah, it was quite funny, but no, he's in high spirits, which is a good part. He said that the green whistle was a hell of a thing to use. So
Yeah.
no, it is quite funny. It's the first thing he said. He said, "I've done a U," and like he was in his cast. But did he tell you how he done it, or have you seen how he done it?
No, how did
I've
he
not
do it? Because
no
So so
I've had Mark's interview, but I haven't heard anything. He just said he fell over or something, and that was it.
he put his arm up to stop someone coming in. So like he's gone to defend himself,
yeah.
and a geezer's knocked it and just popped it straight out. So and
Oh
then
no.
they couldn't get it back in. So yeah, he was out for 3 hours.
He is made of
Oh,
glass,
wow.
isn't he, old Jordan? Isn't he?
Nah, but he's a hell of a footballer. That's the thing. He's
Oh
one of my.
yeah,
To be
yeah.
fair, he's one of my best pals. So when he
Yeah.
does pull up, obviously I can give him all sorts. But he knows he's made a cheese string. Honestly, he does. So,
Yeah.
No, you're right. He is a hell of a player, and we're lucky to have had him for the
yeah,
time that we did have him, and hopefully the injury doesn't keep him out for too long,
just
and he'll be
suck it
back
up.
soon. Yeah, suck it up, yeah,
Just suck it up.
yeah,
Get on with it.
yeah, If you're watching this, Jordan, you got to suck it up.
Yeah.
That's what you got to do.
CJ's trying to say basically, just take out the painkillers, stick a bit of strapping on it, and get out there. You know what I mean?
100%.
Just make sure you don't fall on it. That's all you got to say, isn't it?
Just roll onto the other side. That's what I've been doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Before we get your all-time, your best Farnborough 11, I just want to ask you a little bit more about Uxbridge and about the levels as well. So obviously, they were step 4 when you first joined them?
So step 4, and it's the first time they've been in step 3 ever.
Exactly, yeah. But what differences have you found of the actual levels, playing wise, coming from
step 2? See, it's a hard one because I've always said to everyone that step 3 is harder than step 2.
Yeah.
And that's as mad as that sounds. But how do I say, in step 2 when I was with Farnborough, we didn't train. Or if we did train, it'd be towards the end of the season. We barely trained, and we'd call ourselves like the best pub team ever. Like, we didn't have to do any analysis, nothing. We kind of just rocked up. Spencer would tell us their 3 best players, who we got to look out for, what they do on corners. Now at step 3, it was a lot more thorough, and it is a lot more thorough now. Like on a Tuesday and a Thursday, we're in front of the screens, and they're going through how they play, how we play, what mistakes we've made, what mistakes they will make, and stuff like this. So I actually say step 3, as I said to a lot of people, is a lot harder. Step 4's step 4. I'm not saying that to any people that could be step 4 players right now or step 5 players listening, but you could give strikers 3 or 4 attempts and you kind of have a gist that they're not going to really punish you. Step 3 has now become, I'd say, like, there's where you see the strikers, there's the goals that they've already scored. And then step 2 when I was there wasn't prolific. I wouldn't say it was prolific. I wouldn't say it was, how do I say it? The strikers were good, but you could still give them chances. So I always said that step 3 was harder because with step 3, anyone could beat anyone. Obviously, step 2 is a lot like that now, but it was more. You kind of knew, as bad as it sounds, you kind of knew you're coming up against teams that realistically will beat you.
Yeah.
When then you do the vice versa, you turn around and you got teams that come like lower than you, and you think, well, we're probably going to beat them. Where you can't do that with step 3.
No, there's very level playing field, isn't it? I think you're right. You say about the sort of the National South now. This season's probably the first season that it's been proper competitive. There's no real easy games. Even we're a good example of that. We went away to Chippenham, first half, buried them, put them away big time. Should have won the game, and then second half they turned it around on us. So, and they're bottom of the table. And I know we're not in the best of form, but anyone could beat anyone really. And
you flip it round and you go beat Dorking 2-0.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Or with Epsom 1-1.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And then go lose 5-1 to Enfield. It's one of those where you're like, it's hard. Obviously, like I was saying earlier, it's hard for anyone to find consistency with that. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But I wonder what you're doing. But that's the joys of step 2 now. Everyone seems like everyone's pumping money.
Yeah.
And anyone can beat anyone.
Yep, very true.
Yeah.
Very true.
Have you again? Sorry, before we go, we do your 11. Have you been? I know you're busy, obviously playing, or you're injured now at the minute. But with Uxbridge, and have you been keeping an eye on results this season?
Of course. They're still my football club. That's what I call. I say to anyone, I still support them. That's not going to change. You don't just leave and then that's that. There's no shut off. No, I still check in because JT, my best pal, he's still he's one of my best pals, shall I say? He's still there. So we still have phone calls. We still talk. Robbo's still there. I occasionally I see all of his photos, and I'm always laughing at him because it seems like he's poster boy at the moment. But no, I was literally with them on not last Saturday before. So it was Vic's birthday, and it was me, Robbo, Bawley, Ricky, obviously JT. So it was like a little catch up. It was quite nice. So,
how's Bawley getting on down at Basingstoke? Doing all right down there? Still loving it?
Yeah, he's currently injured.
Is he? Oh, typical.
So, but no, cool. Yeah, I'll always check the results, and I'm always. It's not one of those where I'm going, I hope they lose either. So I hope they win.
Yeah.
It's no like toxic or anything like that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
No, brilliant.
Great stuff. Nice
Right,
way to end, I think, that one.
Yeah, right. So what we'll do now is we're going to get your Farnboroough 11, your best Farnboroough 11. So I mean, obviously you've got 10 years at the club, so you've got there's a lot to choose from for you.
I did give you a bit of heads up on this one, didn't I? Yesterday, so give you a bit of thinking time.
There's a lot of leave outs, and there's a lot of where you kind of feel bad. But obviously in goal, JT, right back John Anunga. See, this is where I was saying about earlier. My two centre halves are two completely ones that people will probably won't pick up on. If I'm doing 4-3-3, for example, I'd have Terrell Forbes, which a lot of people won't remember, but we were going to get relegated, double relegation. We were near the bottom in, I think it was step 3 or step 3. He come in, steadied the ship. I think my missus said it was only for 14 games when she was doing the Google, but in those 14 games, we must have got like 27 points out of 30, a possible 30.
Yeah.
And I'd say he was one of the main ones for that. Kurt Sassano next to him, and then Jordan Norville-Williams to the left as a left back.
Can't leave him out, can you? Really, he'd be livid with you because he's injured. He'd be listening, thinking, "What the hell's going on? What's he doing? Done me over."
And then my midfield three would be Cooley, Sam Deering, and I'd have Ricky in front. And then right of the three is Dan Bennett. I don't know if you lot remember Dan Bennett.
I don't remember Dan Bennett, no.
I don't remember him, no.
Well, Dan Bennett was there for my first 2 seasons, winger. Probably technically the best player I've ever played with.
Really?
He's at who's he at now? He's tearing it up still. Where is he at? Is it Whiteleaf? Might be at Whiteleaf. I'm not sure where he is now, but I see him just scoring every week. But yeah, he's a hell of a footballer, Dan Bennett. Left side, I've Reggie Young, just for the work rate. Actually, I know he doesn't score much, but it was one of those you kind of knew you'd get an 8 out of 10 with him. And then another one I don't think anyone will actually remember is Dennis Ollie.
Yeah.
So Dennis Ollie, that was the same time that T was there. Dennis Ollie was my favourite ever striker. One of my favourite ever players, actually. Just to play with, to watch. The ability of the geezer to be able to either run past 6 people or hold the ball up against 6 people was something I actually really enjoyed playing with. Got you out of a lot of trouble as defence.
Yeah.
He had a football league experience before he came to Farnborough as well, didn't he? He had a few clubs as well, didn't he? So he's obviously been around a bit. I think would it be fair to say we had Dennis Ollie probably at the sort of the twilight of his career rather than the peak of it, do you think? No?
And was still an unbelievable footballer. That was the best part for me. Obviously, I've got the likes on the bench. For example, if I could do a bench, it would be the likes of Scott Donners, Sam Pearce, Cards, Jack Barton, Jamie Curran, obviously coming in there, who scored goals. I'd have Bawley. Who else would I have? I've played with, probably about 500 people. There's loads of people probably looking at me right now going, what's going on? Keith Everson, 100% as well.
Oh, yeah, Keith's good. Yeah, I remember him. He's immense, wasn't he? He's an absolute giant, wasn't he? Absolute giant.
Do you know what? He could pick up a game by a scruff of the neck and just do it himself. Yeah. You have to follow his lead.
Yeah.
Fit as a fiddle as well, being an army PTI, wasn't he?
He done a PT session with us for pre-season.
Oh no.
That's one that if someone said to me, go do it again.
It was a proper leader on the pitch as well, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Well, I remember him. Yeah.
Proper. Like he's a proper sergeant. Honestly, you followed him anywhere he goes.
Yeah. I remember Jack Barton as well. Jack Barton played. He was a midfielder, wasn't he? He was in that promotion season from step 3, I think. Or
step 4, step 3. Yeah.
And he was a quality midfielder. I don't know. Is he? I know he's a doctor now.
So he's in New Zealand now. He's in New Zealand.
Do you know if he's still playing?
I don't think he does. He likes his cycling now. I rip him for it.
Yeah, I follow him on Instagram.
He loves his cycling and he loves his running. So yeah, he was one of the ones that he become like really, really. I was really, really close with him. We'd be car schooling. We'd be out on weekends with each other. We'd staying in his gaff. Yes, proper good boy.
Did he go to New Zealand because he advised the Paul Hartness? Did he get him out there? Because I know he does a bit.
He's not playing, Simon.
No, he just moved out there. Because he's a very, very smart individual.
So he qualified as a doctor, didn't he?
Yeah, and then went out there and doing it privately to make a lot more money.
Happy days. Well, it's just well, you name a good bench there because you need to be one of those World Cup benches where you can name the whole squad on. So
yeah, I'd need about 22 if that's all right.
Yeah.
No one hates me.
Yeah, yeah. You might get a few people giving you some shit when this comes out. You miss me out. You know what I mean?
It was a hard one. It was a hard one between Reggie and Michael Fernandez as well. Like,
Michael. I thought he was a great player.
Fernandez,
So that was a mix up because I rate Michael Fernandez really highly. But
I agree with you. I thought he was a brilliant player. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Oh, it's what a player. He's still. Where's he? He's playing at your level now, and he's.
It's a gospel.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. With Ben Greenwood. Yeah, he's down there with him, isn't he? So
he's doing well still.
Yeah. He was at Swindon Supermarine for a couple of years as well, wasn't he?
Yeah, scoring goals.
Videos. I actually had an interesting story. Actually, I actually had a couple of years ago. So I did a bit of coaching as well, and just when I was in men's football, real low level stuff. But I know the manager at Barton Rovers, and he actually messaged me a couple of years ago, and he was like, "Michael Fernandez was when he was at Farnboroough. What was he like?" And I was like, "Oh yes." I told him what he was like. I was like, "What? Are you interested in signing him?" Then and he was like, "Yeah, we've been looking at him, but I don't think they signed him. They didn't sign him in the end. But I think maybe wanted too much money."
Yeah, his wage probably pushed him hell away like that. He's on some good money, I can tell you that much.
Yeah. No, exactly. Yeah.
It's really good.
CJ, we're gonna end it there. But before we do, have you got any messages you wanted to say to all the Farnborough fans that have loved you and supported you over these years?
Yeah, do you know what? I never actually put a post out because it was one of those. It's going to sound really like cringe now, but it was one of those where it kind of ends a chapter, doesn't it? So I never really wanted to put one out. I obviously wanted to say thanks to everyone and cheers for all the support over the 10, 11 years. So I can finally say it now. So thanks for all the love and the hate, because the hate goes a long way as well. Gets you proper going. But no, thanks to everyone really, from the old to the new. So yeah, thank you very much.
We never know. He might come back as manager, mate, one day when Spencer hangs.
That's what I'm saying. I don't love football enough to go into management. I can see the hellhole that is. No, thank you.
I didn't be looking around for a new assistant manager, so you could look at that one.
I'll be all right on the beach somewhere with a pina colada. So
happy days. Yeah, absolutely. Right, CJ, don't go anywhere. We'll have a little chat when we come off. But that leads me to say this episode was sponsored by Tratec Consulting, taking your business visions and turning them into innovative reality. For more information, visit tratecconsulting.co.uk. Simon, have you got anything to say before we go?
Yeah, just many thanks, CJ, for coming on. It's been really good chatting to you. So, obviously, you popped up some names there that's brought back some memories for me as well. So, thanks for that. Thanks very much for your time. It's been it was a privilege watching you play. Hopefully, you'll carry on doing so for a few more years for other clubs. But I still haven't given up hope. Might see you back in the yellow one day, but you never know.
You never know.
Thanks, mate.
No, thank you.
So thanks everybody for watching us on YouTube. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. CJ, thanks again, and we'll be back with another episode real soon. See you all soon.